Hello, welcome back to Sit Chatting. I'm Whyte.
And I'm Jamie Allan.
And I'm Alba. And I'm really nervous.
Don't be nervous. What are you so scared for?
I don't know.
Right, okay. First ever female guest on the podcast. Thank you for
Maybe
coming
that's
along.
why I'm nervous.
I'm just going to say it must be a fucking honour for you right now.
It really is. I told my mum before I came.
Right.
It was exciting.
Must have been an honour.
Did she ask for an autograph from us? Because I mean, we can supply that then.
Maybe
if
she
you want.
just didn't think she would have the honour to have an autograph. Oh my god.
Yeah, wait, hold on, let me
Right,
sign
you
that
can
as well.
both sign
Pass
it.
it.
Right, make it out to cast. Like her nickname.
We've got post-it notes on here. We're just going to
K-I-R-S-T.
K-I-R-S-T.
We'll just
There you go.
Thank you.
That's
I'll
just
give
for the
that to her.
fans.
Make sure you get it framed. That shit's worth a lot of money. Mate.
No, like in a few years, I bet it would be. I'll put it on eBay.
It will
A
be.
few months, I think, is the correct term.
I mean, Liam, you've actually tried to sign that perfectly.
I mean, I have.
I mean, I've signed that as my...
That's my actual signature. That's why it's worth so much. Mate.
That's my work signature.
Yeah, well, I mean, when we're wading through the crowds of fans, that's the sort of thing that you do, you know. Right, okay, so first question to ask every guest is, what is your earliest memory?
I don't know. I remember like being in.
It better not be as tame as Corners, is all I'm going to say.
Well, I feel mine will be worse because I remember. I think my earliest memory, because I've talked to my mum about this, because she says I have a really, really early memory. But I remember being in like a shopping centre or like a supermarket, and do you know those like trolleys that are like cars for. Like,
yeah, like
children?
the push the one the thistle
And you
sign
can
off.
like maybe I don't know, but I just remember like just being so happy and just wanting to be in it forever. That's
Fair enough.
that was the
That is-
highlight.
I mean, no dogs biting at you, no falling downstairs. It's pretty low on the list, isn't
But
it,
it's just
Jamie?
because I'm trying to be accurate of my first memory.
It's a normal memory though, to be fair.
Yeah, fair enough. It's not the eventful ones that like Francis and you that I've given.
No, I remember. Well, I'll tell you this memory. I don't think my brother will be happy about this though. But
Does he
We
listen to the
were-
podcast? Does
well,
then
he
he's
will
fine.
after today. But what happened was it was back in France, and we were in the kitchen. My mum was just filling up the dishwasher, like one of those dishwashers that you pull down. And then he was like, because
You don't
in
know
France
those
at
names.
school you do like cool things for PE, so it was judo that week or something.
What the
So-
fuck?
So we did judo, right?
I'm
And
just
then-
saying, like, we would get away with that, like, you'd get battered at your mates first in
No,
PE.
but you
and
would go
be
to you would actually like the judo would be the whole afternoon, and you would have to walk ages to go to this martial arts centre, and it was a big thing. I know, but basically he was like, "Look what I learned today at judo. Tried to do this move, fell, and sat on the dishwasher, and got a knife stuck up his bum."
Oh,
that is horrible.
Not like
Oh, he's got
up
two
the
holes.
cheek of the not anymore.
what?
Okay, that's horrible.
That
I mean,
I win the
who the
first
fuck's
memory
Francis?
thing.
Yeah, do you know what?
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
no, do you know what? She
This was
wins.
probably when I was like 10, so I could just forget everything before that.
Oh, that's
So-
fucking
Yeah, I mean-
raucous.
Yeah, and then we went to like the hospital.
Poor Wayne.
But imagine you'd
How
have to
old
be
was
so
he? How old was he?
probably like 7.
Imagine going to school the next day. Oh yeah, I got stabbed.
No, he
on
didn't.
that.
He
I
was
was
in
about to say,
hospital the next
there's
day.
no way you can
But
go to
imagine
school
having
with
to
this.
show like your bum to the doctor and being like, "Oh yeah, I was doing judo in the kitchen and I fell and I sat on the dishwasher."
That's why like there's a knife point straight up.
Because in the dishwasher, like.
Aye, but you're meant to have them facing down the way.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know. Tell my mum. Are you telling my mum that she's a bad parent after giving her an autograph?
Of course not.
But it wasn't. It
We need to
wasn't.
keep our fans.
It wasn't like a butter knife. It was one of those like. Do you know how in some restaurants you'll go and the knife will be like a fancy like wooden handled like just like it was like one of those ones.
Aren't you posh?
Ew.
Now, so you touched on a wee bit there. France was it was where it all began. Do you want to explain whereabouts in France did you grow up?
Saint Etienne.
I only know them because they have a football team. Whereabouts
Do
in
you
France?
actually know them?
I mean, I've heard of the football
No,
team.
the football team is
Saint-
called AS.
I'm pretty sure it's called Saint Etienne.
No,
No, it's called
Saint Etienne.
ASSE.
Oh right,
Saint
okay.
Etienne.
I think they're two completely different places now.
Maybe.
Aye.
Ignore that. I'll cut that out.
Will you though? Because you have one lazy bastard when it comes to
We'll just
edit.
keep
Oh,
mentioning
excuse me,
it
if
like
you
that
fucking
and-
ever try to edit one of these, no, you can't complain at me for shit anymore.
Okay, fair enough. But you're completely wrong on what you're saying.
So, shut up. So what was childhood like growing up in France then?
I don't know. It feels weird like thinking about it because I feel like it never happened. Like I feel.
Do you think it was like a dream or something?
Yeah. It literally it feels like a dream, but like, because it's hard to think that I've had all this life there and I've been here for like 7 years, but I feel like this has just been my life. Because I kind of moved like at a good time because it was, but just when people were going into high school, so I just went into first year of high school. So I feel like that's when people start again anyway. So I feel
to a
like
certain extent, and Connor sort of touched upon that in his when he sort of started again by finding either new friends or like, you know, just trying to move away from that. But surely it must be pretty difficult going from France all the way like to a completely different country and then having to meet your mates. You don't get like the added benefit of like a few of your mates up from primary school if you
You'd
wanted.
be surprised, but I remember having the conversation with my mum because I moved in like June 2010. And this was like about around March time, and I was just like, it was like a Sunday morning I think, and I was just like sitting on my mum's bed and she was just like chilling, lying in bed, and she was like, do you think, like she just probably just got off the phone to her mum or something and was talking to her, like my gran, and then she was like, do you think you'd want to move to Scotland? And I was like, yeah, we could. Do you want to move to Scotland? And she was like, yeah. Then we told, like it was kind of like a joint decision, because
and your
like
brother didn't get a decision.
No. Then I spoke to my brother, and then I was like, Glenn, do you want to move to Scotland? Then he started crying, and I was like, Glenn, I will get you lots of Lego. And then we decided to move to Scotland.
Is that the sole promise?
That is literally.
Did you get him the Lego though?
He got like Harry Potter castle Lego. He got like Hagrid's hut. I didn't get him it, but he got lots of Lego.
I mean, it was well kitted out at least for me.
So why Scotland?
Yeah.
Because all my family's here. It was just my mum that. Because basically my mum is like a crazy cave woman. Like, right. I feel like
I've been do you want to explain this then about the story? Well, the stories that you told me from your mum.
She's my favourite person ever, except for Paul. But she moved, like she went to uni after school and then did English at uni.
Scotland,
yeah, in Scotland. She went to Edinburgh uni and she was fine, and she did weird like Russian studies as well, and then after uni finished, she and her friend Rona just like decided to go travelling. And they just got, I think they started with a plane ticket. They just got like a one-way plane ticket to Spain, and then they just hitchhiked everywhere, and like just walking places, going random. And she was like one of those people that would like dress up as a like paint metallic and just be a statue and like wait for people to get the money and stuff. And then her and her friend Rona decided it would be a good idea to live in a cave because it was free. And people lived in caves, like in Granada.
Yeah, I mean, like back in the before time. Yeah.
No, but in Granada, there's actually this like mountain that has lots of caves in it. But the caves, they're like I've seen videos. You can see on YouTube. There's videos, but like the caves are like they've got like a couch and they don't have toilets to be fair, but they've like made them like homely and stuff.
Piss anywhere, eh? You,
like holes in the ground, but like.
Sorry, just to interrupt. What I love about that is like, see if you're homeless in this country, you usually end up in like, I don't know, a park bench, or maybe you apply for council housing or whatever. Your mum just thought, fuck it, I'm gonna live in a cave.
It was a different time as well. That's the thing. It was a different time, and also like you don't have caves here really.
I would get that bit. So like,
but like it was a thing. Like it was a place. Like in Spain, like gypsies would live there and stuff. Like it was an actual just thing, and then like. Drama kept happening because the council was trying to buy the site to like, but it was like a protected site now because it's like a thing that people lived in those caves to like build a giant hotel on it because it does have really nice views because it's on this huge mountain. But like, I just like the idea that she would be like have literally no money to her name, be living in this cave, and then would be like, oh, I'm really hungry. Like, do you fancy like juggling with fire until we make enough money for lunch? And then they would like make enough money for lunch and go buy lunch, and they would do that. But she told me about her friend. She had this like guy who also lived in the caves, and he was the type to like work like 10-hour shifts every day during the summer and save all the money he made and save it all because through the winter there's not as much tourism, so he was kind of go traveling during the winter and during the summer just stay in the caves, and like he's made so much money from it. And he was also the friend I think who would just like walk places. Like she'd like see him in Spain, and then he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm just like walking to Germany," and she's like, "All right, okay." And then like,
I mean, that's a fair distance.
Yeah.
That's a long way to get a loaf of bread.
6 months later, he'd be in Germany, and she's like, "What a madman."
That's
pretty straight. So how did she end up in France then with you and your brother?
Because she, like I said, like in the winter, she like go like hitchhiking other places. She was actually writing a book while she was doing all this travelling, but then she hitchhiked into this dodgy guy's thing, and then they stopped at the petrol station because they were like, oh, we need to pee, like, don't kidnap us and rape us. And then they got out of the van, and then he must have like figured something was suspicious and like drove off with all their stuff. So she's lost all her books she was writing. But basically, I think she went to a music festival in France. It was like in Avignon, which is like another place. And she met my dad there one year, and then the next year she met him again. So I think they were like
French.
Yeah. So I think they were like, oh, it's fate.
So wait, were you born in France?
Yeah.
And do you speak French?
Yeah.
Really, Jamie? Wow. She spent 10 years there and she doesn't speak French.
Well, you know, fucking people spend 20 years in Wales and don't know how to speak Welsh.
No, that's different though. It's not the main language. Is it?
No, that's technically the main language, yeah.
Oh, we're not fucking like Gaelic isn't our main language anymore.
It's meant to be.
But it's not anymore. Anyway, so you came on then, and then so what was life like then until like?
No, I feel like I said, I don't really remember France. Like I remember what it was like living there, but I don't have any friends now that I still message that like were my friends in France. Like I have them on Snapchat, but like I think it was just like because of the age I was, because I have done my first year in high school in France, and then I had to do it again here. So it was just kind of.
So you technically a year behind then.
You're in front of it.
Because I'm the same age as people now, but I think
they do things a bit earlier in France.
Yeah, they just do it weird.
Okay.
Like you start school.
Was it like year 9 and stuff in France?
No, you start you start school at 2. I started school when I was 2.
You'd have fucked. You'd have been losing at 13.
Like literally, right? And you learn how to read and write before you go into primary school.
What, really?
Primary school is only 5 years long. Like I remember, you get Petit Section 1, Petit Section 2, which would be like Petit Section 1 is more like drawing and like more like.
It sounds so much better than primary 6.
You still go like Monday to Friday, like probably like 9 till 4 or 9 till 4 it was in France. But high school was like fucking 8 till 5. But anyways.
Fuck that.
You'd have left at 10.
But in France, in primary school and like the school before that, you're off Wednesdays. Like Wednesdays are just a day off in the middle of the week. So you have Wednesdays plus the weekend, and in high school you have Wednesday afternoons off. So it's kind of good.
Nah, I don't know. It's still that 8 to 5 would fuck with me.
Yeah, but it's because they like
1 hour at school fucked with you.
But you learn how to write in like stick letters in like the second highest, and then you learn how to write in like, because in France you write like curvy writing.
Oh, my cursive, yeah.
So,
I've actually done well somewhere for once.
So you write in cursive like in the other year, and then you go into CP, which is the first year of primary school, and they all have different names. And then high school is 6 years, but it's confusing because it starts at year 6 and it goes all the way to 1. So when
what the fuck is wrong with this place?
No, I was confused as well because I remember I need to tell you about French lunches, school lunches as well.
Okay,
like in France for school lunches, I'll tell you because the story was during a school lunch. In France during school lunches, like you get like 2.5 hours lunch break. So it probably counts for 8 and 5.
We didn't even get 4 hours.
What would happen is like you probably got away because you had a morning break. Because you went to school, had a morning break, then had your 2.5 hour lunch. Then you had an afternoon break.
How long was the morning break and an afternoon break?
Like 25 minutes.
Right, I'm sorry, but like,
you had 2 hours 50 minutes. Yeah. Then is what you're saying.
Right, so you barely spent any time actually in school.
But yeah, but that's the time you're in the building.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'd have been off down the pub every single lunchtime.
At age 6.
Aye, it's France. They probably all drink wine at that age anyway.
It's very true.
But for school lunches, you would my school, the way it was that if you went to the primary school, you had to walk to the nursery school because they had the big like lunch hall, and it would literally be like a 3-course meal, all catered. Everyone sitting at tables. There'd be like a jug of water, a basket of bread, like cutlery, and it would be I think it cost like €4.50 a day. Which is kind of expensive if you think about it, like your parents.
Well, not really. How much is over here? That's about at the time that would have been about £3 here, which is if you think about it, you're spending. Some people spend up to that a day here.
Yeah, I guess. But I think in France, like, you don't get as much help from the government and stuff, like money wise, like benefits sort of thing. So like, I think like it feels like more expensive at the time. Because I remember Mum being like, "Oh, fucking school lunch is €4.50."
And then you were sitting there with your fucking three
No,
course
but
meal.
the food was. If you know me,
steak.
I don't. No, it wasn't. I don't like any food. So it
You
was
don't like
all,
any food. That's
well,
pretty
I don't
difficult.
like. I don't like wet food. I don't like. I'm very difficult. So it was basically a case of every like day at lunch, the teachers would hate me because they would be like, "Fucking eat," and I'd be like, "No, it's gross."
I mean, I can see a problem with their teaching problems there. If they're sort of corners just in the background dying.
Fuck me. I think I've got work coming.
Jesus, has to interrupt our stories.
I'm gonna go to the toilet and solve things.
Yeah, that's what you do.
It's fine. Try not to die.
If I don't come back, I'm dead.
Hey.
Oh, shit
I don't
happens.
remember what I said. School lunches.
School. Yeah, so apart from that, and what's the main? Okay, well, firstly, right, was that culture shock then coming to here and seeing your school lunches?
To be honest, right, the school
sloppy
lunches
joes.
here, I liked it because I did.
Compared to that, are you mad?
Listen, right. I had 1 week of primary school. I went to the last week of primary school at Braehead Primary, and it was the week when they had like fun day and like prom, and like I went to all that, and what was it? I liked it because I got the green lunch every day, like the green tray, and it was like a sandwich and crisps, and it was like dry food, and it was nice. And I could actually choose what I wanted to have. You didn't have a choice in France, and you had to eat it all, or else you would get like told off and in trouble. I remember.
Oh, right, okay, maybe
French
that's not
school,
too great then.
French school was very strict. Like I remember one time, like see if you weren't doing well in lessons, you'd be like, you wouldn't be able to go to your break. And I remember one time,
you're like, no, not my 2.5 hour
this
break.
is how you do an F in French.
All I'm gonna say is, right, you spent about 5
That's
years.
how I do it, yeah.
Yeah, but see, getting the loop right like that, for some reason my brain would do it this way, and because I always did my Fs like this, I got held back like so many break times having to write lines of Fs.
Are you mad? You got held back in school for
Not
not
held
strong.
back in school, but like held back
You know what I mean?
during
like,
break times.
When you. Are you
See,
serious?
like trying to do the loop like here, yeah.
I mean, I was just
It's
doing my
fucking-
F and realising how much of a fucking idiot I look when I do that.
No, we're just. This isn't really entertaining, like, for the podcast.
You
We're
could just
like,
edit a picture of this into it.
see, that's how I do it, my Fs.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Yeah, so, like, see, I got taught that, right, and I got told from primary 3, oh yeah, no, this is critical, you need to draw it this way, and I fucking did it this way, and now I can't get it in my head.
What's the trick?
Everyone hates
Yeah.
my writing. If I was in France, I would have been fucking good at something.
No, see, it's so annoying. See, my writing in France, amazing. Everyone was like, your daughter has such nice handwriting. Everyone would ask me, see, and if you're in a group task, it'd be like,
Apart from
Alba.
our Fs.
It would be like, I know, well, I got over that. And then they were like, oh, Alba, you're right, you have the nicest handwriting. But then my brother was always told off, always in trouble for his handwriting, got marked off. So, like, literally, if you did a test in France, well, maybe it's just my school, but if you did a test in France, and you would got all the answers right, but your writing which was shit, they would still take off like 5 marks.
Are you mad? I would actually, like,
It
not
was
pass primary
strict.
school in primary.
It was strict. That's why you're like, oh, it sounds fun. You have all this break, or you have like a nice like 3-course meal. You can. The only good thing about the 3-course meal was you got to like sit at a table with your friends and like. I feel like it. You
For
just
2.5 fucking hours.
Yeah, but you just felt like older because you felt like, oh, I'm having this meal.
I suppose though,
And then
kind
you
of like,
still
it'd be
have
like going out to a
playtime.
restaurant sort of thing.
I feel like I would get bored every
But
day sitting with
imagine,
the same
like-
people for 2.5
No, you
hours.
can move seats, but like
Were you allowed to like say if you finish your meal, were you allowed to like
this
go
was
outside
when
or
I was like
whatever?
6, 7, 8, and like I didn't have a phone then. So
No,
like,
no,
you
no,
would
not that.
just
Sorry,
talk to
were you
people.
allowed to like go outside like once you'd finished and like play?
Well, I know everyone would have to go outside at the same time, and then it would be like playtime, but like school playgrounds, all the shit. Like we had like a what do you call it, spinny thing. We had the slides. We had like they would open the cupboard sometimes, and the cupboard had like
The cupboard.
right, what do you call ishas like
Solo for you.
like things that make you taller and you walk on them.
Oh, stilts.
Stilts. They had stilts. They had little bikes. They had like tricycles. Like it was fun. I miss.
To be fair, right, everything you described there sounds good, and then once you describe it more, it sounds actually horrendous, and I'm glad I didn't know this.
Oh, also, you got forced to go to church,
I mean,
and like
it's still like, and honestly, like that thing would
Is
bother me.
it?
I just sort of like get over it, just like
no,
yeah,
but they
fine.
would ask you like at the beginning of the year, casual, like oh, like when you start primary school, oh, are you religious? And like I went through a weird phase when like, right, basically I think it was the year before high school. when I was like, maybe I am like Catholic or Christian. So I wasn't baptized when I was born. So I went to my mum and I was like,
Can I?
oh, can I like become religious and shit? And she was like, right, okay, if you want.
And she's like,
and just
fuck,
like
what have we got ourselves
basically
into
signed
then?
myself up to like Sunday school. So every Saturday I'd go to this place and learn about God and Jesus and my path and like that shit. And then got baptized and my mum came to it and she was like, all right. And then got my first communion like all by myself. Obviously she like helped me organise it.
To be fair, that's like pretty grown up thing to do at a young age, because
It's
like,
because-
I did exactly the same thing, but it was like my mum said I had to go and do. Like, don't get me wrong, I still would consider myself religious. I'm not a good religious person, but I believe in it.
What religion though?
I'm Catholic. I'm Roman Catholic.
See, I was, because in France it's Christianity, like that's the main one. But like that's what I got baptised at. But then I went to high school and read this like book from my French class, like French would be like English, yeah. And like it basically, I was like, because we watched a documentary on it, and then I was like, the timelines don't match up. Like this is history. They can scientifically prove that this was at this time. And they were like explaining how they dug really deep into the ground and like, so basically, I was like, oh, I'm not religious anymore. And I was like, Mum, can I like undo my religion? Can I like leave the, because you're like, when you get baptized, you get born again into the like a new life.
Yeah.
I was like,
And
can
then
I
you
get
killed off your
unborn?
wife.
Wait,
Yeah.
so you Christian or Catholic?
Well, was.
Well, was
In
it?
France, it's called Christianity, but it like hearing about the religions here, it sounds more like Catholic here.
Right, so you'd be well.
I don't think they have like.
We'll just say you're
two
nothing
separate ones.
anymore.
Well, yeah, you're
Yeah.
nothing now.
Right.
But like, I remember my communion and stuff. I got so many presents. It was great.
So were you? So it was the area of France, and you grew up in it. Was that like a coastal town? Was that a centralised area?
It was like near, like you know, Lyon.
Yeah.
It was probably like half an hour from there.
Alright, okay, so like, what was like the main thing to do then? Like, was your area quite big that you stayed in? Was it like a proper city, or was it just a town sort of place?
It wasn't really. It wasn't like. It wasn't a village, but it wasn't like skyscrapers and like that. I lived in like a nice
Stirling
flat.
almost.
Kinda, yeah. I feel like I lived in the. It's really funny because Saint Ninians sounds really close to Saint Etienne, and when I started, hey, don't laugh at me. That's how I feel. And I was like,
I can just imagine poor you, right? You're sitting there, right, in the gorgeous sunlight. You're about to move to Scotland. You see, oh, we're moving to St Indians. That must be really similar
at
to
the
you.
time it was.
And then you went here and you went, shit.
No, when I was younger, it was like, this is so nice. Like, people have gardens here. Like, you don't have. Hey, listen to me. All I had was a balcony, and like, I do miss like being in France, and like, I lived literally. My house was here. Go downstairs. The baker's is across the road, like getting fresh bread and stuff. But
and you literally moved from that though to like, what are you, like 5 minutes away from the toll now?
Fucking
yeah,
Bronx.
5 to 10. I live in Broomridge actually, but like my
It's
gran
a
lives
posh
in
one.
St Indians, and she's got like.
But she's that close to it.
Well, she's like got a huge nice garden, and I'm like, there's so much greenery, and like
In
there's
St
just old
Ninians?
people. Yeah.
I stay in St Ninians.
She stays in
And
John
you know
Park
you
Street.
stay in the shell as well.
It's like, do you know what, near the Mayfield, and you go up the road and it's like those houses opposite the dodgy flats. Although it is worrying when she's like, do you stay in the dodgy flats? That's
No,
what we call
beside.
them.
No,
Oh,
I
I
stay in a house away up the.
You stay pretty close to it, but
Where? The dodgy flat.
the huge. Is that what they're called? That's just what my family
No,
calls
behind the
them.
toll. What are you talking about though?
Yeah, like the big.
oh right, sorry, I'm talking.
You're on Glasgow Road, I'm
sorry,
like, out with the
Ah.
my bad, sorry.
Right, but she's got a nice garden. It was worrying when I was like used to stay at house during the summer because we always went on summer holidays here, and like it would be like, oh, the police just came, like someone's being stabbed across the road, and I'd be like, oh shit. But there was a nice garden. You can have barbecues.
No, you can't. It's pissing with rain all the time.
Oh,
There's some junk in your
Never have a
garden.
barbecue.
You're
in
getting
France.
mixed up again. Like this isn't France. this.
Look,
Oh.
No.
I mean, I really appreciate Alba. You've come to this country and you want to like say how good our culture is, but honestly, from going
Honestly, I like it, and like I feel people have more humour here.
Oh, well,
And, like-
the best country in the world.
And
without
like
doubt.
people know it's kind of shit, but they embrace it, and I like it.
no, do you know what? That's actually a good way to live by life. If you know some shit, but you can still have a good time. That's a good way
Yeah.
to live by it.
It's like don't just be negative about things. I feel like
Oh,
France is
fair
a
enough.
lot
Fuck
of
'em.
like the way it is. It's like because like I said, like school starts from 6 and then it goes all the way down to and then 1, but you can finish at 2. And then it's like if you finish at 2, it's not that good, and like you really wanna like in France you can't pick school subjects in high school. You can pick either
Oh,
science or like French. So you can either pick math, science, like all those subjects, or you can pick like French, like literature, like all the grammatical subjects. You can't do a mix of things. And I'm like, right, I like science, but I would hate doing math, so I'd probably end up picking that one. But I was speaking to my friends, like, because I speak to them sometimes they'll message me, like the people in France, and I'll just be like, oh, so like, what subjects have you picked? And she's like, oh, I picked the science ones. I'm like, Mum, she said she picked the science subjects. What does that mean? She's like, oh yeah, in France you can't choose. Like, you have, it's like really academic. Like, I went to a private school in France. Like, you have to pay for it because the public schools are so bad that no one goes to them.
Oh, that's
like, well, people go to them because it's free, but it's literally you're not gonna get any like
good
type
teaching.
of like good teaching. So you kind of just forced to like, all right, I'll go to a private one then.
Fair. So what was the? I mean, that's kind of like the first ever podcast we did. We were speaking about like education, how we feel like there's so much that could be changed. Like, it's good, but there's so much could be changed. Hearing like, because so far the only like we didn't hear that much about Connor's one, like apart from here, but we heard quite a lot about Ewan's and also yours now. Yeah, so I think now I'd rather have mine.
Comparing the two, like, fuck, we're in
Yeah, don't get me wrong, Ewan's sound
Yeah,
easy as
no.
fuck, but I'm not sure if I could have done that for like so long. So once you came here, then what was the biggest cultural shock to you, or like biggest cultural difference to you?
I think I came here expecting, like, I knew a bit of English. Like, my first word was an English word, so I was like, I could always understand it more than I could, like, because my mum spoke to me in English.
Right.
And
like even when you're like at home.
Yeah,
sort
when
of
I
thing?
was in France, like growing up, so I could always understand it. I couldn't read and I couldn't write, but I could understand and I could speak it.
Okay.
But like I think it's the whole Scottish thing, because I was not, because my mum was born in England as well, so she's got a Scottish accent now. Like, depending on who she speaks to, she kind of like changes her accent. Like, not on purpose.
I get that. No, I see that. Like, folk
I see that.
Very in the
We're working with the public. You meet all these different type of people, and we've got David in the shop, and he's so old. Like, well, I say that he's like 40, but he's so much older than me.
It's not like we're only 20 years away from that, mate.
That's so scary.
Like, when old years comes in, he goes slow and he starts talking proper fluent, like really fluent English. And then when somebody, I dare say a junkie comes in, he'll speak to him like using mate and stuff. And
is that not maybe like a communication skill that he's picked up, thinking I can get a sale here more likely if I'm willing to be on their level?
Maybe it's like you don't even notice it.
We never think like that, mate. Don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, of course you don't.
Not at all. Don't know what
I mean, he wears his EE top literally every single time he's on the podcast. I think bar once he's worn that EE top in here.
Right. Is this my fault though? I come straight from work.
True, but I mean, it looks like almost promotional material for when we have guests on.
I just date with your Instagram followers, mate.
Oh yeah, all like 70 of them, they're like keen on the EE.
You see me every picture, I'm pretty much like this.
Fair enough. So yeah, it was like Scottish then, was on
Yeah,
the
no, I remember coming home from like school one day and I was like, oh mom, what does awesome mean? And she's like, what does what mean? And I was like, awesome. I mean, I think that's what they said, and it was awesome. Like, didn't know what that meant.
I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
No,
to be fair, that's not a Scots word, but I mean, maybe the way
yeah,
you're saying
but like,
it.
more of an American
I
word,
remember
to
I came home from we had people over our house. We were going to the shop to get more like food or something. So we went to just like the toll to the shop, and then I came back and I was like, oh mum, that woman in the shop was speaking really weird, and she's like, yeah, that's Scottish. And I'm like, oh my god, teach me something Scottish. And she was like, I didn't ken. And I was like, but at the time, now I can see. Hey, now at the time, now I can see like, right, like I can see how that means no. But at the time I was like, Ken, like the Barbie doll, and I was like, I'll say it to my gran as a joke, and everyone would laugh, and I was like, oh my god, it's like a whole language I need to understand. Like, I don't understand still game.
It's Fife in Edinburgh that use that all the time.
I'll be honest, I use that quite a lot as well.
I really don't think I use it that much.
You don't use it that. You use it occasionally, not that much. So.
I think by being around Damien so much, it's like I pick up all the other stuff that you can say rather.
So the thing is, I've got the influence within now of picking up some Aberdonian words as well from being at my dad's a bit, and also from known folk from Glasgow as well. Occasionally get that, and Alba as well is the worst one probably.
I get mistaken for being being from Glasgow.
See,
all the
I
time
don't
on the show.
recognise the different Scottish accents.
Do you not?
No, like people Sterling accents.
Like, do you mean
and I'm
with
like,
do you mean with the way they sound or with the way they speak, like actual words that they use specifically?
the way they sound.
So you
sounds a bit difficult, but like
you couldn't tell somebody from Glasgow from Stirling, though.
No.
Okay, that's maybe. But you know, it's like I mean, I suppose.
But I can understand what people.
I'm sure if
now.
we went to France, we can pick up on different
No.
areas of France.
France has weird accents. Like some French people, I hear them and
Oh.
I'm like, I'm not even gonna try talking to you in French. Like at my work,
Yeah.
I just give up. I'm like, what? Because you get really weird ones. I'll show you later YouTube videos with different French accents, and there's like weird lisps and like like France has a lot of like weird sayings. I think it's a bit what's like Cockney rhyming.
Cockney rhyming.
It's like a bit like if you think about that, but 10 times worse and in French. And I'm like,
Bees and honey.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So, like, obviously, then going into high school here, did you feel maybe a wee bit like an outsider at first? Because obviously you didn't you weren't able to. Well, see, when you came here, went to school, were you able to write that point, or did you have to learn as you were going through school?
Like I said, I did the first week of primary school, so I had the summer to learn English.
And did you?
Yeah, kind of. But like I said, it was more like learning to write. I remember when like March time when I was like, oh right, let's move to Scotland. Like I remember I had this book that was like the ABCs like of like English words. So it'd be like acrobat, and I would like learn like how to write it and like say it. And I'd be like just like read an English book and I'd like read it out loud. Like the first books I read were like Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Like this was like when I was like 12, 13 because it's all I could read because I was just like trying to learn it.
Oh yeah, I mean
These are
like
classics, but
I mean yeah,
like
I mean,
Captain Underpants. Or,
yeah, oh, I mean like you're talking about a genuine classic.
like, there's no harm in what you've just said there. That's,
Yeah,
but I
no,
think
some
like
classics.
part of me was
Jamie
like.
still reads it now.
I can't read, so I
Okay,
mean,
but-
Yeah, so
so move on for that.
But I think I was just like, oh, like it's like people are really scared of going into high school anyway and making friends, and I'm like extra scared because like what if I
you
don't
have to learn a
understand
new
them?
language.
I remember when I first walked into the high school, I went to my form class and they were like, oh, Alba, right, we'll take you to the French teacher at the time, and the French literally took me to the French teacher, and she was like, this is your timetable. I was like, I can understand that much. And she was like, everything will be fine. I'm like, I know, it's fine.
Where was this? Was this in high school here? Or?
Yeah, Bannock.
Where Bannock you went
Oh.
to? Pure you. You really
Yeah.
got a shit one to. Why didn't you go sit in yet? Still
Because
high
at
because
the
you're that
time, I
close.
still lived in my grand's house. We didn't come
Oh,
here with a
okay,
house,
right,
so it
sorry.
was like 3 people in the
Oh, you're
bedroom.
right in the middle for catchment areas
Yeah.
as well. Aye.
So that's what happened. But I didn't mind it, and although like I didn't really like notice anything. I think it was the first understanding people, and then of course when you're like a first year, like your first day in high school, you're gonna feel really small and like kind of be like, oh right, okay. But I remember like this one time, it was like just at the beginning of high school, and there was this girl who should remain unnamed, and in home ec,
Do we know her?
I'll tell you her name after. But in home ec, we made flapjacks, and she was jealous because she was my partner in home ec for some reason. I don't know. And then hers, basically, showed the teacher mine looked a bit dry, so she added a whole extra spoon of like
Oh,
whatever,
so
like
mistake.
honey or whatever. So then basically like mine was really like sweet and like really good, and then her one was all burnt. So she was like, we got them out of the oven, and obviously my seat in home ec was on the left side, so hers on the right. So I put mine on the left side of the oven, she put hers on the right. And then I took them out the oven, and then she could see hers was really burnt. So she went to grab mine. I was like, that's mine. And then she was like, no, that's mine. And I was like, Mrs. Park, she's trying to steal my flapjack.
The grass.
No.
The grass.
It was a good flapjack. I've never had a flapjack in my life before. I wanted to have it. And then, okay, and then she was like, no, this is Alba's, because I added more into hers for some reason, because hers went dry, so this one's probably yours. Right? Had our own, was happy. She went in a huff. So like I sat and cut mine in slices like you're meant to. She went in a huff and didn't cut hers and like threw her bag. I didn't care. It was like, what a bitch trying to steal my flapjacks. And then so like at the end of home ec, you don't take like your bake to like all the other classes. This was in the morning. So put them at the side to collect at the end of the day.
Did you take
And
yours?
that fucking bitch. I walk in the classroom. She walks before me. I'm like, oh, I don't care. And then she was like laughing, and then I'm the last person in the class to get my stuff. The bag with my flapjack, because I wrote my name on it, is open, and I've got a burnt flapjack that's not been cut. And I was like, "Oh, you joking me?" So then I told the teacher, and then one of the girl's friends was still in the classroom as well, and she was like, "You should tell on her." And I'm like, I am gonna, and I was like, it's weird her friend is saying that, but we'll see about that more later. I told the teacher, and then she must have felt so awkward and so like just. She literally, I don't know what happened, but she got moved to form class basically because she stole my flapjack 7 years ago.
Gate.
7 years ago. Tuesday, because I think because then like the next day at PSC, we were at the same table at PSC, and she was like, "Why did you tell on me that I stole your flapjack?" I'm like, "Cause you did." And then I was like, "Your friend even told me to tell on you." And
You're the double grass. You're the double grass.
And then I gave no fucks, and I was like, I'm not gonna come into this new country and get bullied over fucking flapjack. So then the other girl was like, "No, I didn't," which said, "No, I didn't," like in Scottish, and I was like,
Yeah, you really did go about it, but that. Imagine if you and me fucking did that to each other in home.
I don't think I ever made anything that I actually took home. I'm not gonna lie. I think home anything I took, because obviously they made you take it. I feel like I just took it and then binned it on through it.
More so than
I'll tell you one where our Martin Duff saved though. So we made you know, like the things where you put the stuff inside them and then you fold them out, like a calzone type.
Calzone.
I can't remember what it was we made, but and mine was all like burnt and shit, and chicken was all horrible.
Oh my god.
So I took it and I threw it at Martin Duff's head. That was an eventful afternoon to be fair.
I love Quebec. You never got those subjects in France, but like I did hospitality. I got the highest mark in the whole year.
I did hospitality.
You and me definitely didn't get that as well.
I wouldn't say that we did, no.
I mean, that's surprising because I'm the best chef ever, but...
So, we still need to do that mac and cheese. What I wanna do is, I think I make the best mac and cheese. Connor agrees.
Alright.
Do you want to say this, like, to the podcast what you want to do then?
He thinks he makes the best mac and cheese. So I say one day we just invite lots of people around. We invite lots of people around, and then me and Liam will cook mac and cheese, like blind taste testing. You'll just see the two on the plate, and then eat them, and then see which one's best.
I reckon I'll win. Do you know what we'll do right as well? We'll record and we'll put it up on the YouTube channel. It'll be Liam's cooking show part 2.
Liam's cooking show like competition. Head to head, and you make a series. Chef to chef.
I mean, I don't know what the point is, because I'll win every time. So I mean,
you will not win.
I'll show it for the camera once how I am the best, and then
you'll be copying me. We'll need to do it fucking Master Chef. Like you can't.
Oh yeah, because we've got a cooker just in there. I'm going to install a second cooker.
We'll go to Bannockburn High. I'll be like, "Have you got a free fucking?"
No.
No, we won't.
Can we use your home ec classroom?
Yeah, we'll go back to our old home ec classroom. It's like the nightmares are kicking in.
Oh.
So going on then from school, what was the rest of school like? Did you enjoy it then, being here compared to France, or
like going on from school?
Do you mean
school,
what was the rest of school like sort of for you?
Year.
Did you enjoy it? Did you think that pain?
I feel like I enjoyed it more in like 6th year. I think that was my favourite year, which made me like the most sad. Because I'm like, I just want to make it last longer. Like I miss going to school just to like speak to everyone, and I was really annoying basically, but like just like shit, I would just make up stories and like not like in a bad way, right?
What?
But our year was really bad. Like we had a whole chat, and then the year heads, like it was like her name versus 6 years, and then the chat it was like everyone in the year in the group chat. It was a huge group chat. And then the chat got found out about, because we were all really close in the year pretty much, like we would talk and stuff. And the chat got found out about, and then people weren't allowed to go to prom and stuff. And basically this
Why did they find out about the chat?
Because
it's Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. But some idiot guy had it open on his phone or something while he was talking to the head teacher, and the head teacher was like, "Show me your phone, unlock it, scroll through the..." Exactly. It was a fucking outrage, and people were not allowed to go to prom because they said they'll flinch her off the balcony. It was just a joke anyway, but I'm sure like teachers...
But they're actually not allowed to go to prom.
Yeah, people did not... Exactly.
It's privacy anyway, you're not allowed... Unless like she can claim there's some sort of terrorist threat or something, you should be allowed to open the phones.
So basically, me being... like the positive person I am, was trying to change the subject, and basically for some reason I got tannoyed and other people got tannoyed. There's like 2 or 3 people from each year got tannoyed to the lecture theatre. No one had any ideas why. And then my friend messaged me being like, "Why are you being tannoyed?" I was like, "Oh my god, we're voting on who gets to go to prom or not." And like fucking like, because everyone was basically in study because it was like the first period on a Friday
Yeah.
where it was like PSE, but kind of everyone just went to the study room, like this huge study room. And I was like, oh my god, we're voting on whether or not who gets to go to prom, like all the years of voting. Oh my god, there's a PowerPoint presentation, like pretending I'm texting in this assembly. And basically, then the bell rang for break. I got out of the lecture theatre and everyone was like, we fucking hate you. Everyone was shitting themselves. So, like, for some reason, the whole year was voting who could go to prom. And they were like, I was getting messages
terrible.
like, please vote for me. And like, I was like, oh my god.
You evil little person.
See, I don't know. I just like, it made me laugh.
You only fucking with me. Basically, is what you're trying to say. Right, so from then, obviously, you've went. So is your current job your first job that you got?
Yeah.
So do you want to explain that a wee bit about that? What it is you do?
It's not even. Right, I started just like as a receptionist at the Highland Hotel.
Big fancy
Right.
place.
Yeah, I mean, not really.
It's kind of a big fancy place.
You think
Where
it
is
is?
it?
I thought it was before
the
I
one
worked there.
halfway up towards the castle,
Aye,
past
The one that
Spoons.
has the observatory on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, like I said, any place where an observatory is basically posh to me.
Aye.
But then now I'm supervisor basically, but I want to find another job.
Is this a call? Is this an outcry for
I know,
anyone
please
listening?
hire me someone. I'll send you my CV. I just made a really nice new CV. Did you see it?
I did see it.
It's
It's
very nice.
very impressive. Well
Thank
done.
you.
I mean, it's a lot sort of added benefits. Like, I mean, what sort of actually happens? Like, because I mean, my impression in my head, the receptionist, all they do is sit behind a cooker. So yeah,
You really want this mac and cheese competition, eh?
I really have a good idea of what a receptionist is here. No,
Right.
so it's behind the computer.
I
If
think-
someone comes in, like, puts in a book and you send them up to the rooms, and if they have anything, they come to you and you try and sort it. Is that
Right.
basically all it is?
No. Basically,
So if I underestimated
right, you
the...
do because right.
That's your tell.
Reception, like I feel like receptionists in general, like of anything, but receptionists in a hotel, and in particular the hotel I work at, like our reservations team is like one person does room reservations. Like
I mean,
and in
don't
all
get me wrong though,
instances-
I've never worked at a hotel, but I would have thought that would have been enough because, you know, people come in, they make a booking,
for
one guy goes to
96 rooms, 365 days a year,
Yeah.
to manage every booking
Yeah,
that works Monday to Friday 9 to 5. You think that's enough?
yeah. I mean, I haven't done the job, and clearly by the way you're describing it, it's
No.
not. But see, like, going through my head at the moment, that sounds okay to me. I haven't done the job, and I will
Yeah.
believe when I hear you say it's not enough, but I will think in my head that's what it sounds
Right,
like enough.
basically reception is like you have different shifts obviously. So the two main shifts are like 7 till 3 and then 3 till 11. If you're on 7 till 3, then you're like starting the shift. So then you like is checking people out, taking people back in. But it's like it's so much. It's hard to describe what you do because you don't understand like hotel speak. Like does that sound weird?
Yeah, no, like,
Like
it's like how each company has their own language sort of thing about
yeah,
what to do.
it's just really weird. Like I like Cora. Would you know what that is?
What did you say?
Cora, CORRA.
Sounds like a seashell.
But it's like
I'm
Corres-
gonna guess it's the corridors.
that actually is a good one. Is it?
no, it's correspondence from like travel
Ah.
agents and companies.
Oh, right.
And like right, there's different ways you can book a room. There's like you can book it directly on the website. You can like there's prepayable rates, there's bar rates, advanced purchase.
But it's not
local
like you'll
and
just
insane.
like. So I know I'm being a dick here, and I will believe you when you say
Uh-huh.
it's hard. But like, doesn't it just come through a computer? Someone says, "I want a room for a night." You go, right? Is there a room free? There is. Match done. Is that not it? Is that not how
no,
it
right?
works? Right.
Because you have think of how many like possible options you have on like. Do you want to go on Booking.com? Do you want to go on Expedia?
You
Do
do-
you
But
wanna-
like, does it not just come through to you as this person that wants to book through you?
No, because right, what happens is some reservations come in automatically through our channel manager, which
Right.
is SiteMinder. Secrets, but basically, like the reservations come in automatically, but you still have to update the billing instructions. So you have to look and be like, right, what's the rate code? Is there a card on file to guarantee the booking? Blah blah. Update the billing instructions, like route things, like make like it takes a while to make a booking. Like this is ready for someone to look at and check someone in, and then you have some reservations that come through emails, some come through faxes, some come through both. So like
You still use faxes.
I know that some it's not us. We don't want to use a fax machine. Fucking companies do. But like travel agents, like you've heard of, like name a travel agent you've heard of.
I don't go on holiday that much. Also, I
Like
don't book
Easy
them.
Break, like kind of that
I've
thing.
never heard of that. Booking.com, that was when you said
Well,
that.
Booking.com's not a travel agent.
Barhead Travel.
That's not a travel, but it's fine. But
Isn't it? I thought it
that
is.
is that. I think.
I thought it is.
it's more. I think it's like what you think. More like
Thomas
a
Cook, that's
company.
one, isn't it?
No.
Right, fuck it.
See,
Anyway, go on.
it's more. It's like I don't know, but like they'll have the way they email you a booking. They're like, right, input this, but it's just like you have to look at the information in certain ways, input it, but. We have to do arrival checks, so that's basically you print off all the arrivals for that day, and we have 96 rooms. It could be anywhere from usually like 50 arrivals to 70 people, and you have to go through every booking and be like, right, that's the right billing instruction. Do they want a twin or a double room? Right, they've booked deluxe room. Right. Put the notes on for housekeeping to put deluxe stuff in there. They've requested to be next to these 5 other people. Allocate them all. Right, they've booked through a travel agent. I need to find the travel agent correspondence. Get the correspondence, check everything matches, put that away, put the reference numbers on it because in the morning we need to sales ledger it and invoice it to the travel agent. Then just
I feel like this is way above a receptionist pay grade though. Like
there's so much.
Hey, listen, I can look pretty and answer a phone, okay?
That's not it because I feel like if I was a receptionist in any other like place of work, but I feel like just hotel does so much. Plus, you're dealing with people like you're trying to do all this complicated paperwork. Well, people come up to the desk all the time and like, fair enough, like I don't mind helping people, but like, it's just like sometimes you'll get stressed because you're like, I have so much to do, I'm so behind, I'm trying to work out this problem someone else has done, and like you have overbooking levels, which is like, did you know every hotel in the world ever oversells on rooms on purpose, hoping people will cancel?
What? Really? Is that an actual thing?
You can show up to a hotel and they'll be like, no, we don't have room for you.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's a thing.
What happens if you go
right,
like
and
Spain or
imagine,
something?
I come into my shift and I'm like, right, we're -3, you have to tell 3 people. People are gonna shout at you and be unhappy. I would be unhappy if that happened to me. And then you don't get paid extra for having to do it. But it's just like receptionist jobs.
All the time.
Like it'll be like someone in reservations made a mistake, which means that we're -10, right? 10 people will come to the desk, and like there's so many rules, like you have to only pick certain people because some travel agents you're not allowed to do that to them.
Do you have like contracts
and like deals and stuff, and then like you have to pick the last person to check in because it could be a case of people will no-show. You get no-shows every day. People that book rooms and don't show up. Maybe they've booked them for the wrong date by mistake, or they just like decided not to come, or they forgot about it. Like it happens more than you think. But
people forget to go to the hotels.
Oh, like what are you though? You must be like 80 quid for a standard room.
well, I'm trying to think.
That looks like an underestimate.
Like I think way too expensive. But basically, like I'm trying to think. The other day I sold.
Are you
someone,
trying to think of a night away?
The other day I sold like bed and breakfast £155.
Fucking hell.
For one night?
Yeah.
You mad? What?
That's
Absolute nutters coming here at this time of the year and spending that much.
That's
money.
in a deluxe room, to be
How
fair.
much is the Dumbly Hydro? Do you know? Like,
It changes all the time. So like in August, see the 18th of August, there's like some guy having his last concert ever at the castle. We had like 95 rooms to sell yesterday, and now we're full on that day. Like it went so fast because it's
but
last
you
concert.
charging more than the standard 150.
It was literally there's no standard.
Oh,
it
for
could be
fuck's sake.
like on Sunday night, for example, it was £88 something, but then the Monday was more expensive. Like it changes all the time.
Okay.
But like in August it was like literally like 255 a night.
Fuck that.
And you say you don't live in a posh place. That's half my month's wages.
Yeah, no, but like what I'm saying is it's easy if you're a hotel in the centre of town. We've got a pool and a sauna and a steam room.
Oh, do you? Oh.
Yeah.
That's a fucking minted hotel.
Observatory and stuff, but like I don't know, but then like sometimes I'm like, this is so expensive. I'm like, yeah, so that'll be £458 for
And you're
2
just
nights,
crying
and
in your
then
eyes.
they're like, oh, it's so expensive. And they start shouting you because it's expensive. I'm like, oh, I can't control the rates. If you want to book a different rate, try and look online for travel agents. I could recommend this one, blah blah. And it's just like, you have to do all this paperwork, and then like there'll be people that've checked into rooms and like being as reception, like housekeeping's fucked up, not cleaned something properly. This guest is going to shout at reception. Then you're like, right, I'm going to take money off his bill. Then the boss shouts at reception, why did you take that much money off his bill? And it's like, excuse me, why are you not, like, it's housekeeping that fucked up. Like, I'm just trying to make the person happy. And it's just like, I feel like it's a lot.
Right, I think we've agreed that we can agree then that it's more of a struggle than what I perceived in my head. That to be fair play, you do.
Plus all the hours, like waking up at 5 in the morning and like finishing work at 11, like it's not good.
Yeah,
And
no,
weekends.
that's
And working Christmas Day the past 2 years is not good.
I mean,
And-
I'd deal with this. I'll say deal with this.
You're just like,
Yeah.
bigger wage. I can put on a dress and work at the front.
I do Christmas Eve, I do New Year's Eve. It means.
I do the same as well.
means
But I mean, Christmas Day and New Year's Day are different matters. Imagine fucking working New Year's Day if
you
you've been out of bed.
get double for like Christmas Eve and stuff.
Damn,
We
fuck.
only-
I don't get. I could have limbs missing and they wouldn't give me double. You know?
We only get double past certain hours if it's past like 6 p.m, which means if I'm working Christmas morning, which is the time I would want off anyway, don't get any extra. And
Yeah,
it's just
no, fair
like
point.
I feel like I'm just like Chris, because in France you celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve, so it's like I do my Christmas and I'm like really tired the next day, like doing the early shifts, and it's just like.
Did you get a lot of people staying like Christmas
We
Day?
have like tour groups, like American people who like go on tour and like have, like basically
I don't get that. Why,
Every-
What's
Everyone's-
spending your Christmas in a
I
different
don't know.
country?
Why would you? I don't know. I just
like
want to
people
spend a
work, but to be fair, they get like they're all with their friends, like people they're like
I
they're
know,
with
but-
their husband and stuff, and they get like really nice like Christmas Day meal, and they like they'll see
Spending
nice
Christmas away
sights
from
and-
home just doesn't seem like Christmas, so.
Is
Some
that
peop-
like-
a lot of people do it. A lot of people ask us like we have a Christmas lunch or like
Is that like a regular thing? Like, see, in France, is Christmas quite a close thing over there? Like here it is, like quite a family related.
yeah. I
day.
think I've never, because my family's not big at all. It's like my mum, my brother, my gran, my aunt. Like that's it. And
Yeah.
me. But like so I've never really had the whole like big family like
Dynamic.
Christmas.
Uh-huh.
But like, I guess in France it was just me, my mum, and my brother, so it was even more like quiet. We'd like probably like have some food, play a board game, go to bed, wake up in the morning.
I mean, that doesn't sound too bad. I'd happily do it
Yeah.
for Christmas.
It's mad of it.
Right, so are we ready to move on to the first game of the night? It's what do you think of? Don't worry, it's not the quick fire one. Yeah, that's
nervous.
always the last thing. So if this one, if you're new to the channel, but thankfully Alba's a long time fan, which we appreciate greatly. And if you want to be a long time fan, hit subscribe, like, comment, all that good things.
It just made me laugh when he was like, "Oh, we got a viewer from France." And I was like, "I'm sorry, but this is my
Oh
niche.
yeah,
I'm sorry."
oh yeah, no. So I think like the fourth podcast or something, I said to Jamie, I was looking through the analytics, I went, we've got people from Brazil, Mexico, and I said France as well, and then Alba was just like, oh yeah, no, that was me. It's like,
I'm
wow,
sorry.
thanks for ruining it, Alba. Appreciate that.
There's no excuse for the Mexicans, but so.
Yeah.
Fine.
True, yeah. Right, so game is basically ask you a set. Basically, I give you like a topic, and you basically answer me back as fast as you can your answer to it. So I will give you Scotland, and Jamie gives me the answer of.
Best country in the world.
So just like that, just quick, short response.
Yeah,
It's
my
okay.
heart's being so
Don't worry, it's not a time limit. You don't have to go too fast. Okay. First one is Scotland,
Home.
France,
French, I don't know.
what?
French.
French. Brilliant answer. The Sitting and Chatting podcast.
Sorry. I don't know. Liam.
Leo, right? Okay, poor Jamie.
I'm sorry.
She knows who the star is, mate.
It's on his YouTube channel.
Connor,
Best friend.
alcohol,
Cider.
drugs,
Pugs.
Oh, yeah.
vaping,
Struan.
minions,
Connor.
memes,
Rage.
pop music,
Madonna.
hotel managers,
Weird.
gap years,
Fun.
university,
I don't know.
fair enough,
School.
high school,
Okay.
fair enough. I was certainly the weirdest ever responses we got for that one.
Sorry.
You don't need to apologise, that's good. That's way too different.
Oh god.
France, French.
That's
Weird.
That's personally one of my most favourite ones, I'm not gonna lie.
That's an excellent response.
Right, next we're going to do Liam and Jabba, brackets and guess, do the news.
I should have studied. I know this was going to happen as well.
I mean, anybody have absolutely zero idea. And
I mean,
What's
so,
happened this year?
don't worry. The only research, like me and Jamie said from the start, this is all wrong. The most amount of research that goes into it is this one, and all that happens is I type in BBC News, I find a news story that's interesting, then I pull it, and then we talk about it. So basically, in the last podcast, we were discussing about how Ryanair cancelled. What was I said? Something like 2,000 flights, I think.
Holy shit.
2,000. Yeah, no. Now 400,000 Ryanair passengers have had their flights cancelled. Basically, it was 18,000 the previous
I
time.
need to go on their Twitter page because I love reading complaints and stuff. Like I go on Jet2's Twitter page and just read the replies.
Yeah, no, she went on Dobie's once just to read what the complaints were like. Yeah, basically they've said they're going to fly 25 fewer planes to cut the risk of flight cancellations. Is there an excuse for cancelling 400,000 people's flights?
I'm guessing that they must have like messed up because I feel like flights are organised really far in advance. So like
They
I'm
could
guessing
be organised
if
up
you
to a
make
year and a half
one
in advance.
mistake, then it could fuck up every further flight. So I guess someone made one mistake and they're trying to like
rectify.
because technically, if you lower the amount of total flights you have, you're gonna lower how many cancelled flights you have just by chance.
But basically though, they've blamed this on messing up pilot holiday rotas.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they've done.
Yeah, so like that's what 400,000, right? 400,000 people.
Shit.
Let's guess, right? So most of them will be two people's like couples going away, but you'll also have like the families, or in some cases the really big families, or
Well, they
your
get their
group
money
of.
back.
Tourists.
I haven't said if they're going to get their money
They
back
should,
or not.
honestly.
Oh, they will.
Like if they don't, well, think about it. We were saying last time, fucking hell, how much is that going to cost? And didn't we figure out something like 500,000 or something like that? Roughly,
million.
roughly.
But then, how
That,
much
that's,
would it
that was
cost
for 18,000, not 400,000
How
people.
much would it cost them in a lawsuit for not giving their pilots good holidays, or like the holidays they need?
Well, I don't know how much a Ryanair pilot's on, to be fair. I imagine it's not too much.
I mean, realistically, what's going to happen is they'll refund the flight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, but like we worked out something like roughly. It was going to be roughly in the ballpark figure of 500,000 to pay out 18,000. Now it's 400,000 they have to pay out, like you
Shit.
said.
When you think about it, like a company like Ryanair probably has lots of money anyway, but it's not.
I don't know.
I mean,
That would put me off booking
Oh.
Ryanair, to be fair.
I know, but it's not that.
As
But
a
like,
consumer.
it doesn't matter who you are. If you're like any person that's wanting to run a successful business, if you're seeing millions poured out
Yeah.
for an unnecessary reason, that's not something you want. That's a massive fuck up.
Imagine being that person that fucked up the holiday rota.
I imagine it wasn't one, but I'm going to guess, like, because not every pilot will be on the same holiday rota, so, like, it'll be, I don't know, I'm going to guess, but it'll be something like maybe 10 pilots to one airport. Like, the big airports will have, like, maybe 10 pilots or 5 pilots or something.
You'd be surprised. Manchester's got 74 pilots.
Really?
For Ryanair.
Well, they can't be just, well, but, like, roughly in total, that would probably work out about 10 or 5, roughly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I'm going to guess what happened is there's probably about 3 or 4 airports that
They
messed up
probably
for holiday
just, when they were
rotas.
planning the flights, probably just like forgot about like 10 people's holidays, and then it's like shit.
We've
They do-
cost millions of pounds.
They do agencies though.
I
You've
feel so
no-
guilty as a pilot going on my holiday. Like shit,
What?
I've just cancelled all these people.
Like, I'm sorry, but they've probably got one of the worst hours ever. Like, they've basically got the most extreme version of lorry driving.
They do agencies as well though. That's the thing. I don't know how they fucked it up so bad. Say you do fuck up the holiday rotas, cool. We've got free pilots out, but we need free pilots. There's agencies with pilots that you can bring free in.
Oh yeah. Well, but like, isn't like each plane different to like how you fly them sort of thing? Or not really.
Like each model, but if you're like an agency pilot, you probably know more than one model.
I would imagine so. But my dad, when he came back for, because he drives lorries, when he came back for falling off the roof, he had to go into an agency to get back into a job. He was driving logs, which he had never done before. Then he was going out with tankers and stuff, so you can do all of it.
Did he get like training through the agencies?
No.
Just go like you're like just
Nah,
looking at all the
thing is
controls like, yeah, I can fly this plane.
If you can drive it, you're fine. You know.
Yeah, that's like me saying, oh yeah, I've driven my Kia and just like going to the foot like cockpit of like a plane, just like.
I mean, that's a bit different. That's driving and flying. You know, I'm talking. If you've flown one plane, you're more likely to be able to fly the other one.
Yeah.
Plus, I was thinking about the amount of stress like pilot. Actually, no, I think the worst job in the world right must be air traffic controller. If you fuck up one thing, you've caused like hundreds of people to die.
Like any job where you have someone's life in control, like a surgeon, like anything, I would not be able to do.
Fuck that.
I mean,
Imagine-
you do have one. Think of all those
Imagine
people.
your hands in someone's like rib cage, like you're removing something off of their heart. Like you could
Removing something from
sneeze,
their heart.
yeah, like a tumor,
Like what?
like a tumor growth, like on the outside of it.
Oh, yo.
Shall I get my mum on to see if Alba's good enough to be a surgeon yet?
I've only seen like House.
What if you sneeze, by the way? I just heard that. What if you
You
Oh
stab
shit,
your
I've
hand.
stabbed the boy!
You'd be like, and then like stab their lung and then they die.
Alba, please, like, say after this job, right, don't go into being a surgeon.
Have you ever seen the films or the programs? They wear masks. You
Yeah,
realise
but you
that.
would still. It's not the. It's the.
It's like a joke.
But if you know you're going to sneeze, you
You go
Pull
clear.
pull it away.
I mean, that's what I'd fucking do. I'm not fucking chancing stabbing some guy in the heart, like, literally right
Sometimes you sneeze, you don't expect it, or you think you're gonna sneeze, then you don't. Then it's like, whoosh,
there.
someone
No,
dies.
no, right. I reckon they probably... I
And
think-
it's like death by sneezing, 11:42.
Okay, right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then you're in jail for manslaughter.
Would you actually die? No, would you actually go to?
What?
Yeah, I'm
Would
sorry.
you actually go to jail?
You can. It's, I mean, it really depends. But you
If it
can.
was,
You-
if
you
it
probably
was
would.
like no, because if it was like,
Well, it's like-
not if some person was just gonna die, the surgery wasn't gonna help them. Like you can't tell, can you?
I mean, no. Like, no.
No,
Ma-
I like
manslaughter is a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that scares me so much, by the way. That's why I don't want to drive. Because
Can't
imagine
be
like,
worried.
imagine like crash into someone and they die and then I go to jail for the rest of my life. Never, I'd feel bad enough myself killing
Well,
someone.
two things,
Never
right?
mind
One,
being in jail.
don't drink and drive, because if you
No,
do that and
but
kill
I would-
someone,
what
then
if I
you'll do
sneeze
it.
and drive?
I mean, right.
Right,
What is it
okay.
with you sneezing? We need to move on here.
Right. Have you actually like was your brother like walking through like the kitchen one day and you just went achoo and just stabbed him with a knife or something? Is this where his
In the
fear's
house,
coming
yeah,
from?
that's the
Yeah.
judo
He was
story.
never
Aye.
doing judo. She just sneezed.
She sneezed. That's what she told her mum anyway when she came through.
Oh.
Right, okay. Let me just bring up the second one because my phone locked. And I can't remember off the top
How
of my
did we
head.
get from Whyte to sneezing?
Yeah, no, I mean, no, we didn't do well discussing the whole Ryanair thing. Oh, yeah, right, so that's another thing back to the previous podcast. So, me and Jamie had a sort of talk about Tommy Robinson, about him. Basically, do you know who he is?
No.
Do you want to kind of explain who
Oh
he is?
god. I don't know how it's. I don't know what he would class himself as, but
A pro rights activist, maybe?
we'll go with that.
Yeah, we'll go with
He
that.
basically he's against all. I'll say Muslims, all terrorist attacks. Right, he's against.
That's what he claims.
Yes, that's what he claims now. He's very
Against all Muslim terrorist attacks.
he's
Against
against
all
all
terrorists,
terrorists.
basically,
right?
which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
However,
However, if you-
I'm against all
yeah,
terrorists.
no,
you
we
know?
all are. However,
He takes it to the next level. He talks about Muslims and the Muslim religion when it's no actually Muslims
Yeah.
doing it. It's obviously it's Muslim extremists, but
or
he-
extremists.
or extremists. But he goes into proper detail. He goes to people's houses that are known terrorists, and he just does loads of stuff and posts it all on Facebook.
Is he a politician or just like?
No, it's
No,
just,
he's
a regular
just a
guy.
standard guy.
But he's become like kind of an internet celebrity from
Yeah.
in the
He's
process.
became a public figure in the sense that he is so against something that everybody else is against,
Yeah.
but he takes it to the next level where he talks about the Quran and setting it on fire and stuff. When
He's
it's
a
not
very
actually-
he's a very knowledgeable man. Like the thing you have to give him credit for is like he does know stuff. Like he's read through all the religions. He's very clued up
he's read
on.
the
but
Quran more than
Do you
5
think he
times.
actually believes that, or do you think
Yes.
he's just doing
No,
it
no, he
because he'll
believes
get
it.
attention?
I think he believes it because his stuff hasn't changed from when he started to where he is now.
He's read the Quran more times than some Muslims. Like, it's wild.
Yeah, like because like he's clued up. You can't say like, oh, he's just a random nutter that just claims shite for no reason. He's got his reasons for it. It's very subjective to if you believe it. I certainly don't believe it, but
Some of them.
anyway, right. So basically, do you want to tell me about like story you said about the guy, the terrorist guy, and the
Aye, so basically, this guy is a known terrorist. He uploads to YouTube, and basically saying he's
not the
gonna-
smartest way. You're quite easy to get caught then.
Aye, and he's saying he's wanting to turn the whole UK into the. Still to this day, I still don't know what the book's called. I can't remember. It's basically his version of the Quran, but there's a loads of extremists at fault. Like, we've read the book, and he's wanting to get everybody in the UK to preach it and believe in it. So his job is he's willing to kill for it to happen. So he's a known terrorist. He's a known threat to the UK.
Oh my god.
So
Is he
So-
on YouTube?
aye, he posts it all on YouTube.
Oh.
But basically Tommy found him out and done like a whole documentary on him. Went to where he stays, told the people around the surroundings and stuff like, who he was and what he was there to do. Police got involved. They got moved. The guy gets moved every 2 days to a different house because Tommy follows him and makes sure.
Yeah,
it's-
I was like kind of school bit. Like,
Aye, I mean, they moved him to this one place in England where it was
Like the
Two-
government moves him, or
Ah,
he
yeah.
moves himself.
no the government.
It's like to
he's not allowed to
protect
do anything
the
himself.
terrorists.
Protect himself and for the UK citizens, I suppose.
Can they not like just take him somewhere else?
We can't talk to this. It's a wee bit difficult.
It's difficult. Basically, he got moved within 20 yards of the a school, right?
Primary school,
And he's
wasn't it?
Aye, primary school. And he's a known threat, so he could do anything there. And he's also he was moved. I don't know why this is such a big thing, but he was moved within a mile of B&Q, which is where you're known.
You can make a
Or
bomb.
like weapon, right?
You
Yeah.
can make a bomb and stuff using the
Yeah.
supplies for B&Q.
But surely, if they're paying attention on him so much, they're moving him every couple of days. They could just make sure he doesn't go to B&Q or go to.
Well,
the
that's
He's
the
under
quote,
police
but,
security.
Yeah.
He is under
Like
police
that's
security.
the, like.
He's
I
not
mean,
gonna be like, oh, I'm just going to the shops. Bye, guys.
no, but it's like it's just that sort of thing of what if though, like
Aye.
what
Yeah,
if?
that's
What if,
scary.
what if the police officer
Somehow
who's on
just
that
like-
24-hour security falls asleep?
What if my act like I'm like don't get me wrong, it's incredibly unlikely anything would happen, but there's always that worry of shit what happens if he
Aye.
does. But what I was trying to say is the story from today. Yeah, the story from today. At 8:10 this morning, a man carrying a gun entered a nursery in Liverpool. Didn't fire any shots. Basically, it kind of goes on to say it wasn't a member of staff, and it wasn't a parent that they're aware of. But basically, what they're saying is they think the guy sort of basically chickened out at the last second, and a second guy on a motorbike sort of he jumped on with him, fled the scene with.
Okay.
But yeah, obviously.
Was he
So
valid-
by the sounds of it, what they're sort of saying is they think he might have like chickened out at the last minute and not
was he
done it.
wearing a balaclava or was it?
Yeah, like he's wearing headgear apparently. Like the apparently as CCTV shots they were trying to track down the guy, but there wasn't anything on the BBC when I saw that. I was trying to look for pictures back.
It's impossible if you're wearing headgear, man. It's almost
Yeah.
impossible.
Yeah, but imagine that like taking a fucking.
I mean, aye,
to
it's-
nursery.
Why?
The thing is, the people at the nursery, the kids will know that they'll be none the wiser.
Oh yeah, no, they won't know what's going on. They'll just like they probably didn't even like notice the gun.
Yeah.
Apparently, the gun was concealed by a member of staff. So the gun, like I presume, like it was like in the jeans or something. Like they must have just seen it for like a.
The
brief
thing is,
second.
it's again, it goes back to like what if, like we go
Well,
back
that's
to
the
that
thing,
guy
like-
staying.
It's like I mean the only. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but the only school shooting, and maybe it's just because it's close here that I remember it, but the only one that I know of that's happened here like recently is Dunblane. I can't think of it. Like can't think of one down south in particular. Obviously, you've got hunters in America, but
Yeah.
like apart from Dunblane, I can't actually think of one here, which is quite bad. There probably is some that I'm just not thinking of, but you know, especially at nursery, that would be.
It's even more scary in the UK because of gun laws. Like, you know,
Oh
if
yeah,
someone's
like you
got a
can't
gun,
really
they're,
get
like,
a gun in the UK. That's the
Yeah.
whole point of it. Well, you're not really meant to get a gun in the UK.
Yeah.
Sort of the whole thing about it.
You've got to have a license and stuff, don't you? You've got to have
Well, that's for a nurse. Like, I mean, you
And
need
they
to have a
do
license for a
background
nurse, sort
checks
of.
and stuff.
which is good. It's a good thing.
Oh, I know it's a
But
brilliant
you've
thing.
got to go. You can't have a criminal record. You've got to be here 15 years. I know that to have a weapon.
15.
15 years. You've got to be here. You've got to lived in
Ah,
this-
yeah,
this
living in
Yeah.
this country for 15.
15 years.
I mean,
There's loads more to the checks to be.
you could, like, the thing is as well, right? So even if you shot someone, like, inside your own home, you've got such a risk, like, you'd be put to jail for life if you've
Aye.
really got, like, unless you have such a, like closed book case of, like, you know, you've done right sort of thing, then
It's
you'll go to jail
impossible
for
to have
life.
done right though. It's aye.
Yeah, well, basically, thankfully, that boy's a chicken shit and didn't fire his gun in there.
Aye.
Yeah.
Most if I can just looked at a child and be like, that could be my child. Like,
I mean, I really hope that's what he thought. I mean, because he
I wish
didn't do it.
everybody
That's
thought like that, though.
you know he didn't. I mean, the important thing is obviously he didn't do it. That's the most like that's the
Aye.
biggest thing. But
It doesn't make him innocent though.
It shows like
Doesn't make him guilty though.
But-
He's not technically done anything
he's
wrong.
still-
Yeah, he's taking a gun
Firearm.
into a school. That's illegal.
Even if it is a legal firearm, you're probably not allowed to just carry it around.
Yeah, you're not
in
allowed
a
to. You're
nursery
not allowed to
school
carry it out in
and
public.
be like masked.
The thing is, like, the thing I was wanting to bring it back to the Tommy Robinson thing, like, obviously you said there's this known terrorist that lived
Yeah.
probably like 50 yards or 100 yards or something from a school.
So
Though, I mean, this guy, by the sounds of it, is unknown as of yet. He might have just been a regular,
Can they not
to the public's eye, a regular citizen.
imprison someone if they're a known terrorist. Or has he not
No,
done
Me and
it?
Jamie
It's-
kind of
it's-
discussed this before last
it's
time.
like
What I
100%.
think happened for him to get out of it is he got an incredibly good lawyer. They found some sort of like clause which basically meant he couldn't get deported, and that's why they're stuck moving him around the UK.
But
Like,
they
do
was
some
all
of
in,
those.
these propaganda, like negative.
I mean, they can shut down his YouTube channel. Well, YouTube can shut down his YouTube channel, but I mean,
it would just make a new one. I mean, it's a never-ending game, isn't it?
Pretty
Realistically.
much.
Scary.
But yeah, no, it's quite scary to like, because I was wanting to say like, pardon me, it's scary to think how, like, obviously, you know, we're talking about like those known terrorists that live by. Well, what about the nutters that we don't know that live or try to do some stupid shit like that? Anyway, want to put it on to a lighter note. We're going to play the final game, the important one. Obviously, you've got a challenge to beat your boyfriend Connor, who's on 41 seconds, point 4. Are you nervous? Because
Yes.
I mean, you're telling him beforehand about how much of a struggle this game is, and he smashed out the park. There's no
I
way
hope
of
I get a
disputing.
good letter. I'm good at Stop the Bus, but this is like.
I
writing
don't
it.
know what that is.
That's
I'm not gonna
basically
lie.
the same thing, but like.
Jamie.
But
So,
like I know you know what the categories are going to be in advance, and you just get a letter you don't know.
fair enough, right? Jamie, do you want to explain to Alba and to the audience what we're about to play whilst I load it up?
I mean, Alba knows. She's a
Yeah, well, do you want to
fan.
explain
she's
to
the
the
best,
audience?
best
like-
viewer.
Yeah, it's true.
Nah, but what will happen is you'll get a letter, and then you've got to say you've got a category as well, and then you've got to give an answer in regards to the category with the corresponding letter.
She says, well, you get the letter, but you have the option to re-roll
Yeah.
once to get a new letter.
And you can pass as well, but you get 5 seconds added onto your time, which with Connor's current score, don't pass anything.
Don't pass it. If you want to win, you could win. If you don't if you get all right, you could beat Connor.
If I got 10, would I be?
I think if you get
If
10,
I
you'll
got 10,
beat
but in
Connor.
a longer time.
Then no, they won't.
Ah,
You
fuck.
need to be 41 seconds.
That is-
If it's for right, see what I'll do then is, and I think we agreed on this real back in because it was like the first podcast we agreed on it. If someone's basically got the same time, so if you get 41 seconds, but say if you get 41.5 or something, yeah. If however you have 10 right, I will put you to the top.
I'll concede.
He's so confident, sat behind us, knowing the podcast, he's very confident.
I would be as well if I had that score. I mean, the next best is what, 20 seconds away?
Alright, calm down.
Yeah, that's you, and you had the. Right, so you've got a struggle. Do you think you're ready?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I need to write because I write things.
You need to. I mean, you don't have time to write.
No, I do. Just like doodle, like scribble.
Okay, so are you ready for your? Oh yeah, the thing I should say as well. If you get over 5 wrong, that's the DNF. If you get 1 re-chance after that, we've done that with Joe, Graham, and Francis, I think.
Yeah.
Francis.
Alright. So Alba, your letter is H.
Oh, that's the same as Connor.
Is that actually the same as Scarlett? Oh.
Oh, what do I do?
Do you re-roll or like? I mean, if you beat him now, then you have ultimate bragging rights. There's nothing that he can do. However, if you lose, then he has
What
ultimate
if I
bragging
use
rights.
his ones?
What do you mean? What if he uses?
I
his?
remember what he said, like hand. I
Oh,
remember.
oh,
shit.
oh! She's come prepared to this podcast.
Fuck.
It's up to you, Alba. Take it. The H.
Remember that our relationship's online.
Eh.
Right, come on then, Alba. H or not?
Right, yeah.
You sure about this?
What do you know? Okay.
Don't let him influence you. Just
He's getting mind games in Alba. Shh.
don't even look at him.
Right, don't look. Also,
Right.
because mainly I need you to swing tonight. Right,
So you can stick my H or you.
Yeah.
right. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm scared.
In 3, 2, 1. Nicknames. H.
Honey.
Yep. Countries.
Hungry.
Yep. A boy's name.
Harry.
Yep. Ocean things.
I don't know. Sorry, I don't know.
Crimes.
Homicide.
Yep. Diseases.
Herpes.
Yep. School subjects.
History.
Yep. Things you replace.
Heart.
Yep.
Sorry.
Parts of body.
Heart. Hands.
Video games.
Harry Potter Lego game.
Oh!
I did not fucking believe
I'm
it.
saying.
I did not
Oh!
fucking believe
I'm
it.
sorry for the scream. Look at that audio.
I did not fucking believe
Can
it.
I just say she reused some of my answers?
No, what one?
Hungry Harry.
Hungry.
Oh my god. Oh, I didn't think that would get me right.
I'll concede. I don't
I
know.
got 30
What was
seconds.
that, by the way? Like
39.6 seconds.
How many points did I get? Though?
9.
9.
I think you're in the middle.
Could you have actually got anything for sea things? Like realistically,
What is sea things? Like
For
things in the
H,
ocean?
sea things.
Yeah.
could you have actually got anything for that?
Hippocat. That's a
Horse,
French word.
bracket C.
No, that hippocampe in French starts with an H, and that's. A
Well, you and me thought we wouldn't have a new record on this for a very, very long time, but it's only taken 3 weeks? No, 4 weeks.
And not
I'm
even
so
a DNF to
good.
begin. Holy
Not
shit.
even a DNF. Well, unfortunately, Connor, mate, you've been dethroned.
Yeah,
It was-
mate.
I'm
you
such
did-
a good fan of this show. This means so much.
Yeah,
to
I mean, no offence, Connor, but it's nice to have the biggest fan of the show at the top.
Yeah.
Is,
Yeah, sure.
that was, that was pretty intense. Like
Could you have got anything for sea things? We start with H.
ocean things.
Ocean things.
H.
And I got 5 seconds added to that, or did I
Aye.
not?
No, you got more than 5 seconds. I thought it was 5 seconds. Well, you got 10 seconds added on for that. So
Oh my!
like,
I would have been 29 if
You
I could
would
have
have.
thought of
What
a
the
fucking.
Herring.
Heron. I mean,
I don't
to be
know what's
fair,
that.
it's like a fish.
Oh,
To be fair though, like, no, you absolutely smashed it.
I'm counting that as 29.
No, you're not. You're counting
Yes,
as
I am.
38.
Take it as you're the top of the board, right?
That's fine.
Yeah, like, see as well if you're like a few more seconds away, you come to the top as well.
Oh,
Holy shit.
Anyway, yeah, no, I don't think we're going to be that for a while.
No.
you better not. If not, I'm coming back.
Oh, as a challenge for whoever.
Fair enough.
I'll be back too.
Oh, Connor set his stance, like he's coming back.
Oh.
Right, yeah, do you know what, right, at some point we'll have the both of you on and then we'll have
At
the
the
first
same
ever
time?
joint Q&F.
Whoever says it first. Wait, no. How does it work?
No.
We'll figure that out near the time.
Anyway, for now, thank you Alba for coming on. It's been great having you.
No
I appreciate
problem.
it. And yeah, back to me and you for the next. Oh, Premier League fixtures before we forget. Right.
No, I wasn't forgetting.
Yeah, I know. We just about forgot there. Thank God we added that at the end. So at the moment, unfortunately, Jamie Claude won back on me. So yeah, I'm back to 5 away from him this week.
5 away.
5 away from your score.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. So first one, mate. Huddersfield v Spurs.
Yeah, I went with Spurs.
Spurs as well. Do you want to move your phone away from the mic?
Indeed.
We also have Bournemouth v Leicester.
I went with Leicester.
I went with Leicester too. Man U v Crystal Palace.
Went with Man United.
I went with Man U as well. Stoke v Southampton.
Went with a draw.
Went with a draw. Fuck's sake. I'm never going to catch up to you. West Brom Watford.
I went with West Brom.
Oh, Watford first change,
Aye.
right. West Ham Swansea.
I went a draw.
Draw. Chelsea Man City.
City.
Arsenal Brighton.
I went. Wait, what? Oh, I went a draw there.
Oh,
Aye.
Arsenal, yes! Come on, Arsenal. Everton v Burnley.
I'm going to ask you the same question as you asked me last week. Should I stick or should I?
What have you got?
Well, I'm
Have
swirling.
you got a draw at the moment?
No, I'm swirling between the two teams. No, I'm going with Everton. I'm going with Everton.
What's that?
I'm going with Everton.
I'm going with Everton too. And Newcastle, Liverpool.
I went with Liverpool.
I went with Liverpool too. Right. Unfortunately, we need to wrap up, but Alba, like I said, it's been a pleasure having you. Thank you for destroying the record. Unlucky Connor. And yeah, we'll be back for next week. Until then, I've been Liam Whyte.
I've been Jamie Allan.
I'm Alba. I'm still Alba. I'm still gonna be Alba.
It's like the most common like way to do it. And we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.